game. We can go ahead and play one more, or at least start it. We still have 1 hour left, so let's see. What can we play? Any species that you guys want to see? I can play everything except for cat and mommy. Yeah, cat and mommy are banned. I can't play anything else. Please do a ranged character. Okay, say no more. We can do Barachi. We can do the good old 9 Settler special, which is Barachi Hunter. I don't know why it's not recommended. It should be recommended because it's really that good. So here you have 2 choices, like 2 real choices. You're never gonna find a Fustivalus, but the choices are short bow or hand crossbow. Hand crossbow gets a ton of base damage, but the ammunition is super rare in the early game. Short bow gets much less damage, but the ammunition is really common, and you have almost guaranteed longbows in the game. Like master archers always get a longbow, but you might not get to that point. And for hand crossbows, arbalests are also guaranteed, but they come way too late into the game. Oh wait, let me switch to this one, and we can hide this. At least until the game starts. So what do we want, short bow or hand crossbow? I like those two. I personally like hand crossbow because I have like good ammunition management. I know that I only should shoot the things that are actually dangerous instead of like shooting random rats and kobolds, right? But if you have issues with that, go with a short bow personally. Or go with a short bow is my recommendation if you have issues with those kinds of monsters. For any other situation, just go with a hand crossbow because of the extra base damage. We're gonna turn off everything but crossbows, and kobolds get a slow moving speed, but they get a lot of they get extra line of sight, so you see monsters from afar. The game puts it in like a negative connotation. You can be seen from farther away. What the game doesn't tell you is that you can also see monsters from farther away, and there's ways for you to be able to turn that into a strength. I'm gonna quiver the darts of poison, and as you can see, like I'm training the crossbow, but I'm not gonna be shooting it unless I see like a hobgoblin qualifies only on experience level 1. After that, the hobgoblin no longer qualifies as something dangerous. Ball pythons I can melee. Things that I would like to shoot, augurs, adders I would like to shoot. Kobolds if they have a nasty weapon or curer. Truly anything if it has a nasty weapon or curer. Okay, the jackals are pretty messed up to be fighting in this position. This is actually kind of bad. Okay, this is really bad actually. I might die here. Probably shouldn't have tapped these jackals. I hope that I don't die. There we go. Okay, that was pretty sketchy. Probably shouldn't have tapped the jackals, but I just want a really strong taff character, so that's why I don't like to start a new character right away. Like ideally, you just end the character, take a quick break, and then come back with a clear mindset. You know, like devoid of whatever you were doing on your previous character. Are you doing only ASCII for this game? No, but I always forget to do this. It also helps that it doesn't load immediately, so what we're gonna do is this, and then a bit of this, and now it's gonna load. Would you be so kind to get console tiles back up? Yeah, we got it back. It's all good, sorry. No, don't apologize for it. In fact, like I actively tell you guys that it helps me a lot if you remind me of that, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to be streaming something if like a huge portion of my public doesn't really understand what they see on the screen, even if they play the same game I do. Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And I set up the tiles system, or I set up my stream like this in order to be able to appeal to pretty much everyone who plays this game, whether they like tiles or console. So yeah. Glad to remind you, but I just don't wanna make you feel bad. Don't worry about it. Really, don't worry about it. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm gonna level up strength because I like to wear body armor. And if you're gonna be using a launcher, you can go ahead and worship Okawaru. I don't think I'm gonna worship Okawaru this game, but Okawaru is really, really strong for a hunter. Truly, like, Barachi Hunter is just strong enough that if you survive the first couple of floors, like maybe if you survive to the E3, you're gonna have a lot of things that you're gonna be able to do to win the game on your own. Okay, so worms are really bad. Like, I decided to shoot that worm because I have because it just deals so much damage, and I have a way to get past its HP and armor class, so might as well. It's not that the worm is faster than me, or even as fast as I am. I am faster than the worm, even while slow from Barachi. But still, I just wanted to get rid of the worm because I like to kill everything, and if I cannot kill any given monster that I see on the screen, I like to skip the level. But it's a bit too early to be skipping levels, so yeah, I just decided to kill the worm and use ammunition like that. And so far, I still have a fair amount of ammunition, so we should be okay. You like watching the nuanced decision making and just the general banter? Yeah. I try my best. Oh no, it's frozen. Happens so often. I'm pretty sure it's gonna disconnect and I'm just gonna have to relaunch my SSH session. But we can deal with that, it's not really an issue. Yep. It seems that is an issue that only happens to console players. Because people in WebTal, like, whenever that happens to me, I always ask, is Kelby down? And everyone replies, no, Kelby seems to be working fine. But yeah, and then it takes like a minute to let me reconnect, and then everything proceeds as normal. So might as well take the chance and take another sip of water. So yeah, I have a huge jug for water. It's like the kind of jug where people would pour beer in, but I use it for water. It's like a liter, how could I put it? Like a recipient for a liter of water. I guess that would be the correct way to put it. Out of your 2,100 online games, you have one console game. Ironically, it was driven off not by looks but by differences in handing off key presses. So you got a bit of delay or something. But now I'm so accustomed to tiles that there's no way I switch to console. Yeah, same here. Like it's the opposite for me. Big old jug of water. Yeah, I guess that's what you would call it. You play Kelby normally, but you're in Richmond, and you, Shaper, are in Chicago. I am in Mexico City, or close to Mexico City, rather. And I also play Kelby because Akrasiak for some reason gives me a ton of lag, and Kelby, like, I really don't have noticeable amounts of latency. I may have like maybe 60 milliseconds at most, like exaggerating, I might have 60 milliseconds to Kelby, but like it's so little that it's not really noticeable, except for when it does something like what it just did. In fact, that reminds me that I should do this. Yeah, there we go. Game, teleport, fear, blinking, and last but not least we got random uselessness. Okay. Taos needs reload. This time I did it before you guys said anything. Ahaha. Yeah. Something leads me to believe that Shaper watches in like a phone or something, because whenever you watch in a phone you get a lot more delay than if you're watching on the computer. I don't know how that works, and there's like really nothing that I can do about it, but it is the case. Mining Melancholy from DKC2. I might add it to my playlist if it's one of the songs that I really like from DKC. I've never played DKC myself, but I do enjoy the music. The music is pretty decent. Okay, we got a Ring of Protection from Fire. Pretty good. Ooh, we got 17 extra bolts. That's pretty huge. The more bolts that we get, the more liberal that we can be with our usage of the bolts. Since we just got so many, might as well celebrate by killing a couple of these things without walking towards them. You do, yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you watch too much Twitch. You start to notice those little things. I used to have the Twitch application on my phone. I don't really have it anymore because of that, and because I have like I'm very fortunate to have a decent computer that can allow me to run Twitch and other things at the same time. Yeah, I don't know how my mom does it. My mom has a really bad computer, and I kind of want to upgrade it for her, or at least get her like a solid, like an SSD, so she doesn't have to suffer through the daily usage of her computer. But I haven't been able to get it. I really want to go buy it in person because Amazon takes a bit, and it also charges you for the shipping and stuff, and stuff. So yeah, I would like to go buy it on my own, but you know, COVID. She uses Twitch. Kind of. Like, she has Prime, like Amazon Prime. But she uses her Prime subscription on me because I told her to do so. And she mostly watches Prime Video like cable. So instead of having cable, she has that, and I don't really watch TV. And apart from that, she sometimes watches content creators of the things that she enjoys in Twitch, like scrapbook and handcrafts and stuff like that. But yeah, she doesn't really watch that much Twitch. It might be influenced by the fact that her computer kind of starts working very poorly when she tries to launch Twitch. And yeah, I would like to help her with that, and I know how to do it too. Like, I build computers for a living. That's kind of one of the very few skills that I have that I can reliably monetize, and I feel confident enough to monetize. But in these COVID times, I haven't really had the opportunity to build a lot of computers for a lot of people. We used a lot of we used the crossbow there, the hand crossbow. We killed everything with the hand crossbow. We only lost 4 bolts, and we didn't really have to go through the whole fighting in shallow water. I guess it's not really that big of an issue for Aparachi, because I am amphibious. Like, I have to have an advantage from from being a frog, right? And the advantage is that I am amphibious. I do not fumble in shallow water, but I also do not move fast, which I don't understand why Barachi do not move fast in shallow water. I feel like they should, like Merfolk do, but they don't. So yeah, at the very least they should move as fast as a human does in water. That makes sense to me. No, there was something about handling numpad keys. It was so long ago that I don't remember details, and it might not be relevant in modern versions, but I like to do something I was doing in TAS with keypad and console. You had to press numlock, press a key, and then press numlock again. No problem for B-keys users, I guess. Yeah, I've never played console, no, well, in Crawl, and I guess in Crawl it does apply. I've never played Crawl without using B keys. When I got into Crawl, I already knew how to use B keys, and funnily enough, I got into using B keys shortly before getting into Crawl. I remember that I was laying on my bed with my laptop. I had a really bad laptop, like one of those really small ones with an Atom processor. I got it as a gift when I was 14, and I was playing Crawl in that. And I used to plug in an external keyboard so I could have like the numpad, and one day I was just like too apathetic to plug in the keyboard, and I decided to start using B keys, and it took me like half an hour to really get the hang of them. I have no idea why I didn't consider using B keys before that, because I've been using them ever since then, and it just makes playing so much faster. Like, you don't have to move your hand between the numpad and the keyboard, and like in fact I would even go as far as to say that using B keys has made it so that I type faster normally, so it has been very good for me to use B keys. Do you build laptops too? Well, you cannot really build a laptop without like without very specific things. It's very hard to build a laptop actually, but you can like make some changes to laptops. Like, you can upgrade the hard drive. On most of them, you can also replace the RAM or upgrade it, that kind of stuff. And it does help a lot to do those little things, but things like changing the processor on most laptops, not all of them, but in most of them you cannot do it, and other things as well. Like, you can definitely not add a graphics card to a laptop. Yeah, laptops are very limited in what you can upgrade from them. That's why I don't like laptops. Ever since I understood that about laptops, I've never really liked them. Well, or at least, well, you know what I just said. When I understood the limitations of laptops, I stopped liking them. And yeah, ever since then, I've only gotten PCs for personal use. And I got into building computers at about 18 years old, I think. And like the current computer that I have, I bought most of the parts secondhand. The only thing that I didn't buy secondhand was the graphics card and obviously the hard drives. It's very important to get those brand new, because those have like physical moving parts that will obviously like be worry, like they will wear off from usage. It's normal, and also like it's important to keep your own hard drives for privacy purposes. You never know when someone will really try to look into what was in your hard drive, and you don't know what kind of passwords or information they will be able to get from your hard drive. So yeah, that may be completely unrelated to Crawl, but I recommend you all to keep your hard drives, and if you need to upgrade or dispose of them, just destroy them. It's the safest thing that you can do. To give frogs merfolk-like advantage, depths could reduce hop cooldown in water, just making them faster is too generic. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be flavorful that frogs would be able to move at human speed in water, but yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter that much. Faster hop would be cool. Would be interesting. Okay, what's up with all these monsters that I cannot dab with the short sword anymore? Probably gonna have to start using the hand crossbow a lot more for killing these guys. Wow, I got pained by that imp. So we're probably gonna have to train for an offensive skill very soon. I could get that Glyph. It could be incredible. Let's see, do I even have the money to do so? Okay, I don't have the money, but I will have the money very soon. In fact, I think I pick up that pile of gold and I just have enough money to get that. I don't like laptops too, but it's a legit way to get work done in travel. What I completely don't get is gaming laptops. Glyph. Glaive? I guess it makes sense, Glaive. I guess it makes sense. So let's go get that Glaive. Ooh, it's a Glaive of Protection. Okay. Old habits die hard, I guess. I'm probably not gonna stick to using that for the entirety of the game, but it is a pretty good weapon to have very early. Might as well train a bit of polearms. Wait, do I want to train polearms? 0 on polearms, +1 on everything, +2 long blades. Probably should have bought that Falchion instead of buying the Glaive. Thinking of getting a laptop. Thinking of an old ThinkPad, but I don't know. I guess, like, I'm not gonna universally trash laptops, because as Sindragor said, they do have some uses. Like, you can use them to get some work done in situations where you would not be able to use a regular PC. But if you want to play games on it, as long as they are very light games like Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, you can play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup on literally everything. And you can also play Guilty Gear, at least the version of Guilty Gear that I played, you can play it on literally everything. But if you want to play, I don't know, Fortnite or something, you are probably not gonna be able to run it in a laptop like that. So yeah, I guess as long as it suits your needs, you should be okay. So that guy that we just killed, the Orc Warrior, could have gotten kind of nasty if I had just kept dabbing with the Glaive. I had to jump away and shoot the hand crossbow. Unfortunately, that was enough to kill the warrior. For this null, I think I can just stab down. Russian Linux community rules overall ThinkPads. It's almost like a fetish. Okay, we can allow that. We can allow that. You can talk about fetishes if you keep it like civil or civilized. Yeah, I don't have an old ThinkPad, but I do possess a laptop because at some point in my life I was thinking of just moving away and starting anew, and I wasn't able to like bring my laptop with me or my desktop, so I had to get a ThinkPad. I probably shouldn't have tapped this white. In fact, probably should train short blades after finding that. I feel like that's a better and safer thing to use than the Glaive. White hits you but does no damage. You're electrocuted. Beautiful. And I got electrocuted for 16. I think that was like a maximum damage roll. This could get bad. I cannot hop anymore. Out of heal wounds. Could drink a potion of 3 and punch the thing. So here's the thing. I think potions of 3 should give you resistance to electricity because you're like rooted in the ground and the electricity should safely disperse like that. But I don't think it gives you resistance to electricity. Yeah, it doesn't. But it definitely should, in my opinion. I could Berserk. That seems bad. I'm just gonna drink the potion of 3 and wield the glaive and punch the thing. Yeah, kind of a unfortunate thing to happen. We got a bad jump. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use this short sword. I'm gonna train it to minimum delay actually. Funnily enough, I started with a short sword, but I'm not gonna train for a simple short sword. You know, it needs to be a good one, and this qualifies as a good short sword. 3 suns are set on fire by lightning. IRL. Grounding does nothing in that case, but that's like fire resistance instead of resistance to electricity, right? Don't they get set on fire by the heat of the lightning? I don't know. I don't know exactly how that goes, but I think about it, and that's how I would expect it to work. But I am of course open to actually learning how that is supposed to work. The Thrall could be an issue. It's a very early game Thrall. I have a Curator Dart, and we have a Potion of 3 as well. I'm just gonna be a bit greedy. We're gonna use that. And when I have the Thrall next to me, I'm just gonna throw the Dart to poison and slow the Thrall. We can keep punching to get an easy kill on the Thrall. And I think that drops Leather Armor. We can go ahead and use that. I could also use Chainmail. Well, let's see how much that destroys my my evasion. Ooh, Scarf of Resistance is huge. Probably not gonna use that. We are early enough in the game that resistances don't really matter, and armor class does matter much more. Or, yeah. To rephrase that, we are early enough in the game that armor class matters a lot more than resistances. So we're probably gonna be using that, but much later in the game. We're gonna get rid of that, and let's see. 12-7 versus 8-12, and the regeneration. I think we have to stick with the chainmail. The chainmail just provides much more resistance. Okay, hand axe, stingy whites. Oh, never mind. Okay, yeah, I was like, these whites are not dropping anything, and now we have a guy with a +6 Falchi on a freezing. Pretty good. And the best part about it is that it cross trains with short blades. So we're not particularly wasting experience by training short blades. Yeah, pretty good. How about possible goth choices? I mentioned earlier that you could go Okawaru, but like Barachi Hunter, I would consider it to be strong enough that they can go whatever they want. Let's see what are my options right now. I could go Fedas, but I already won Fedas, so we're not gonna be going Fedas. I guess not all the options are displayed in not all the options are displayed in tiles because I have it so zoomed in. These are all my gods right about now, or like the options that I have. I don't know what I could get. I just finished that Che Briados game, so I'm not gonna do that again. Even if Che Briados wouldn't be terrible on a character that's using a launcher, because you never have to walk towards anything. Um, Macleod is pretty good as well. Hep is something that I would recommend against a character on a character that's using a launcher, because the ancestor is just gonna get in your way, and that sounds pretty miserable. Yeah, funnily enough, just as you mentioned Hep, I gave people in general a good reason not to go Hep. But yeah, Okawaru is really good and really solid. Like, everything that Okawaru does is really good for what you want to be doing as a launcher user. You get extra. You get hero. Hero like just gets your Arbalest to minimum delay very early into the game. Like um, getting to 13 long or sorry, getting to 13 crossbows is super easy, right? And you just have to train a bit of invocations to get hero, and like you pretty much get the piety from hero back every fight, so you can kind of get minimum delay for an Arbalest every fight. So yeah, um, pretty good. And you also have finesse, like shooting an Arbalest at half delay is absolutely bonkers because it's just so much damage. And you apply so much damage so fast, and you of course get ammunition and gifts, so really good. I like Okawaru a lot, and if I hadn't like won Okawaru like 10 times already in this account, I would go Okawaru. I think I want to go the Shining One and like play a 15 rune character. At least the Shining One is much more useful than Xin for a character in general. The Shining One gets you mana, well, gets you HP and mana on kills of monsters that the Shining One hates. Like, for example, this could be an issue actually. Like demons and heretical priests, stuff like that. Excuse me? Why are you not dying? Come on. I need you to die. Well, if it's not dying, might as well use consumables. Okay, I have it pretty much at the edge of line of sight. Gonna wait one turn, and then we're gonna shoot it. Okay, it seems that the Shining One no longer cares about you cowardly attacking monsters. I'm very glad for that, because that was a huge pain. I guess the Shining One doesn't like it when you staff, but you can like shoot monsters, and he doesn't get annoyed by that. We are in Naski only world again. Thank you for reminding me again. Arbalest is the strongest half speed. Yeah, the Shining One gives you good things, like definitely better than Xin in my opinion. Xin is good if you're prone to making serious mistakes, I guess, because Xin does have very good defensive options that almost guarantee you to be able to survive after making a serious mistake. But if you don't make serious mistakes, Xin does nothing for you. And personally, I prefer gods that enable me to be strong enough to not get into situations where Xin would be good. You know? It sounds weird, but that's kind of how it is for me. I think I blinked into a bad spot because like the lemurs are gonna be blocking Pikel, and I won't be able to shoot Pikel with the hand crossbow unless I miss the lemur and then hit Pikel, which is exactly what happened. Okay, we take those. I'm not gonna complain about that. Alrighty. So, funnily enough, we found a lot of sling bullets, and we just didn't start with a sling. So if I had started with a sling, I would have gotten rewarded for that, but I decided to just start with a hand crossbow. and I will stick to my decision. The hand crossbow is a pretty good starting weapon. Like the base damage from a hand crossbow is kind of insane for a starting weapon. Even if it's slow and you cannot really spam it, it is still incredible base damage for a starting weapon. Compare that to the short sword. Short sword has base damage of 6, and the hand crossbow has base damage of 12. It is kind of crazy. People do not realize how strong Halo is. Yeah, I had not mentioned that, but that's also a big part of the Shining One. You reveal invisible monsters, you give yourself more accuracy, yourself and allies too. So if you happen to have allies, you give them more accuracy with the Halo. It's pretty decent. I guess it also counteracts Umbra. That might be a very minor upside, but it is an upside nonetheless. So it counteracts Umbra. What else does Halo do? I guess it nukes your stealth, which makes monsters less predictable or more predictable to be precise, and that is also good. So yeah, like. You may say, oh, but not having stealth is a downside. No, it's not a downside. It's actually an upside. Because if you know what the monsters are going to do, the game is much easier. Okay, let's see what we got here. Enchant weapon. Tempted to train or to enchant the falchion, but I'm just gonna enchant the hand crossbow because very likely to use that a lot more than the falchion. Do you stat for dexterity or strength? I think ranged weapons scale with strength more than they scale with dexterity. Regardless of that, I've been leveling up strength on this character because I like wearing heavy armor, like plate, and you cannot really wear plate if you don't have a lot of strength. So yeah, we've been training a lot of strength for that. Hello, Shield Clock. Good to see you around. I hope you have been enjoying the show. I think you're kind of new here. I don't really recognize your name, but I hope the show has been entertaining you, at least. I fought your Zangief a week or two ago. Oh, so you followed from that. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. I actually already uninstalled Street Fighter V. I don't really play Street Fighter V as a main game, but I decided to promote it, and I was like, maybe I'm gonna start playing it on Twitch, but it turned out to be not the case. I didn't really enjoy it. I uninstalled it, and I went back to playing Guilty Gear, which I do play. Added you after Wars. I don't remember that. I'm sorry, but I do I do remember that I played some Street Fighter V, of course. I even uploaded some videos of it to my YouTube, but I kind of quit it. Followed. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. What you're currently seeing is my main game. I pretty much only play this on stream. Even if I do play other things off screen, off stream rather, I don't really want to dilute my my content with things that appeal to vastly different audiences, like fighting games and roguelikes. So I just decided to stick with what I started, which is this. You've played Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup a fair amount. The overlap between people who play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup and people who play fighting games continues. I have no idea how it works, but I take it. Like, I appreciate people who enjoy Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. It's pretty cool. Orc Priest for life. Oh, I actually won a Hill Orc Priest of Beok. Well, not Priest. Priest has been gone from the game for a very long time, but like a Hill Orc Zealot of Beok. I won it during the tournament, I think. So a couple of months ago. But I like the playstyle. There's a lot of people that don't like the micromanagement of the orcs. I personally don't mind that much. You can mostly ignore that and just recall them if you need to kill something real quick. Um, this could be a bad situation. I'm kind of low on HP. Like, not being at full HP is being low on HP for this character because I haven't trained fighting yet. Normally I would have trained fighting by now. And yeah, that's what I didn't want to happen. It went berserk and it can hit really hard. So with that bite it can deal like 30 damage now. And that is a lot for my meager 12 armor class. And I cannot hop, so this is like a really messed up situation unless I kill it next turn. Okay, we take those. So yeah, thank you for following from that. Like, I was really not expecting it to work, but hey, we got one follower from that. When it comes to fighting games, I tried Street Fighter V in anticipation of that, but I have never been able to play fighting games in like a stick. I play on controller, and I had legit execution issues in when trying Dan in Street Fighter V, and I just got so angry at the trigger. You know, like I use a PS5 controller, and like hitting both the bumper and the trigger at the same time for B skill or B trigger. I don't know what it's called, but the thing that uses up all of your B bar in Street Fighter V, I wasn't able to get that consistently because of the trigger, and I was just like, no, I'm done. I cannot continue doing this, and I went back to Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear, I love. Ooh, we found a rapier. Okay. Oh, we found a sick rapier. Okay. Okay, that is good. That is good. That is so good. Never a fan of using the trigger above the D-pad. Oh yeah, like I actively don't use that part of the controller. Like I try my best not to use it. On Guilty Gear I use it for Roman cancels, but that's about it. I don't really use the trigger, as you mentioned. I only use the bumper, and but I mean like the right trigger, since you have to hit the heavy punch and heavy kick button at the same time. I was having issues doing that because I need to press the trigger further than I need to press the bumper, so I was like never getting it, and I was just like, I cannot continue doing this. It was making me quite mad at the game, and that alongside the fact that I was having issues with Dan combos, and I determined that the issues were because I was using a controller that then again had the issues with the triggers. I just didn't want to continue with Street Fighter V, and I went back to Guilty Gear. And so far, Guilty Gear has been treating me rather nicely. I am not incredible at the game. In fact, I wouldn't even say that I am very good at the game. I am decent enough at the game to like hold my own and like not lose immediately against everyone. But a really good player can and definitely will kind of deep-back me really hard, and it has happened before. Hasn't happened on stream because I pretty much never play Guilty Gear on stream, but it has certainly happened. I know some people who got good at keyboard. Have you played much of Skullgirls? Funnily enough, I've known about the game since like I was a teen, pretty much since it released. In fact, I got some DLC characters from free on Xbox 360. I think I got all of them for free on the Xbox 360, but I never really played that much of Skullgirls because I've never been good at that kind of fighting game, like the Marvel-like. I feel like I just drop combos a bit too much, and yeah, I've never really been good at it. But I do own a Skullgirls on the Xbox 360, and I also have it on PC. I might get good at it. Like I've been thinking about it, especially since the announcement of like the new season pass for Skullgirls. Like it just sounds so alien to be talking about it. Ooh, the Tower Shield of Ignorance. I might... No, actually I don't care about that because I'm gonna be using a launcher, and unfortunate. This is like from all the times that I've gotten the Tower Shield of Ignorance, I feel like I've gotten it from this bolt, this exact same bolt, like 5 times in, like 5 times already, including 2 characters in a row that got it from the bolt, from this same bolt. Like like I won a character and I got it from this bolt, and then I started another character and I got the same bolt. It was so much fun. Your main fighting game is Tekken, and your main game is probably Escape from Tarkov. You think Guilty Gear is similar to Marvel-style fighters. But the thing about Marvel is that that's not the only component in the formula. I wouldn't even say that's the main component in the formula. The main component for Marvel has to be the striker mechanic and stuff, like just spamming projectiles all around the world, or all around the screen pretty much, and stuff like that. Like Marvel is just a weird game. Like everything is going on the screen at the same time, and I don't know if I can deal with that. Like for some reason I don't have that issue with Guilty Gear, except with some very specific characters that I don't like either way, like Testament or Dizzy. I don't like Dizzy that much. But more often than not, in fact, almost always, I can comprehend what is going on in in Guilty Gear. Yeah, I was just distracted with the Street Fighter thing. You wish Skullgirls was redone with fluid animations like Mortal Kombat. The game looks fantastic, but it suffers from long frame counts animations like Street Fighter. Hey, don't these sprite-based fighting games. Like sprites are amazing. Harold is destroying me here. I don't think I have what it takes to be able to beat Harold. I think the safest thing to do is maybe jump into that teleport trap. It's gonna be a bit greedy, but we got punished, or we got rewarded for my greed. Pretty good hop into the teleport trap. It saves me a consumable. Have you played any Mega Man Battle Network games? I've personally not played any of them. I've seen them. In fact, the friend that I had in middle school that really got me into Magic the Gathering was a huge fan of Mega Man Battle Network, and I've been kind of interested in getting One Step from Eden, that's what it's called, because the battle system is very similar to Mega Man Battle Network. And even though I didn't really appreciate it as a teen, I might be able to appreciate it a bit better as an adult. But yet again, I haven't really had the need to add more games to my repertoire. I've been really happy with Guilty Gear, Magic Arena, and Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. And yeah, like maybe at some point in the future, I might get One Step from Eden. You'd think you've seen that indie game. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting game. Like I found out about it before it released, and I have it in my Steam wishlist. But since money has been kind of short these days, courtesy of the whole COVID thing, I haven't really been able to justify buying games that I'm not gonna immediately play, you know? In fact, I think the last time I bought a game that I immediately played was when Indivisible released. Yeah, that was shortly after I quit my last good job, and I had some disposable income still, so I bought Indivisible. That's a pretty fun game. It was kind of incomplete, but a pretty fun game nonetheless. I recommend it to everyone if you like Metroidvanias and interesting, funny turn-based fighting in your Metroidvania games. It sounds weird. It is weird, but it is pretty interesting, and it is kind of. It has some a sprinkle of fighting game mechanics too, in the form of you have to mix up some enemies to open them up because they're blocking, so you have to hit them low and hit them high. And you can also do combos with your team, and there's a lot of characters that you can like main and stuff. You can very clearly tell that the person who designed that game is a huge fighting game fan, and of course because it comes from the same studio as the Skullgirls. Temple of Torment seems right up your alley for the stream. Kog'Maw and Temple of Torment. Gonna have to check them out, maybe at some point in the future. But yeah, like as Aster says, sprites are the real stuff. Like, don't give me high quality models. Give me sprites. In fact, you probably have never seen this. I'm gonna leave you a link so you can check it out in the future. But look at the King of Fighters 13. Yeah, no, that game looks beautiful. It is also really, really hard. And I've never really been able to get into it because I have no one to play with, of course. But the game has like beautiful sprite work. Like I would not be exaggerating if I say that the King of Fighters 13 has the best sprites ever drawn. Like, not even exaggerating. That's legit what I think. Because they're very high quality, high definition sprites with a lot of frames of animation. In fact, the sprites are so good and so expensive that they made SNK go bankrupt because they made the sprites for the King of Fighters 12, and the King of Fighters 12 didn't sell well enough to be able to offset the exuberant price of the sprites. So they had issues with that, unfortunately. And it's such a shame that they have to kind of get rid or throw away the sprite work that they did for the King of Fighters 12, because it would be fantastic for the King of Fighters 14 and 15 to have kept using those sprites, but they are so expensive that they just were unable to make like a whole roster of 50 characters using that style of sprites. It just looks so good, but it's so expensive. And I don't know about this for sure, but I have heard from people that the way they made the sprites was they made a 3D model and then they drew the sprites over the 3D model. So that is of course insanely expensive, but it did have excellent results when it comes to how beautiful the sprites were. Unfortunately, really expensive, and it kind of made SNK go bankrupt. Yeah, I wish the King of Fighters 13 had good online, because it is really a game worth learning. Really hard, but really worth learning, because you can do some crazy things in that game. People say that Guilty Gear is among the hardest fighting games, and that is just not true. Like, I can go to the Guilty Gear training room and grind out a decent combo in like an hour, but I don't know if I would be able to do the same in the King of Fighters, to be completely honest. Of course, leaving Shen aside, because Shen is like the easiest character in that game. And even then, Shen is still pretty difficult. I'm gonna keep leveling up strength because I want the extra damage. For some reason, ranged weapons scale with strength, so might as well take advantage of that. Okay, at some point I would like to get minimum delay on the rapier. It's not immediately necessary, but I would like to get it. But we're killing things just fine as we are right now, so I'm not really gonna worry too much about it. King of Fighters is so iconic. Yeah, it is not that well known outside of like Japan, of course, and Latin America. It is like the national game of Mexico, pretty much. I think I've met a lot of people in my life, like from very different from very different places, and pretty much everyone plays the King of Fighters and plays the King of Fighters well. So yeah, everyone but me plays the King of Fighters well. Even a girl that I was into way back in my teenage years was into King of Fighters, and she actually played much better than I ever did. She was like, playing against people is so easy because I just know what they are going to do, but playing against the computer is actually hard. Oh, okay, so that was pretty bad actually. Getting blinked away by the Phantom in the vicinity of a Centaur Warrior. I almost died because of that. The Centaur Warrior could have punished me really hard as a result of that. Huge in Mexico and in Texas by proxy. I guess it makes sense. There is a lot of people from Mexico that end up in Texas one way or another. So yeah. I would assume that Texas has like an arcade scene. Mexico kinda has that, but not quite. But yeah, people do play a lot of King of Fighters here. They don't really play online because like not a lot of people can afford a device that can play the King of Fighters online. More often than not, people play in arcades. They're kind of bootleggy arcades that are actually like a computer with an arcade stick stuck on it, and like that just emulates like a proper arcade. But that's how most people play, and those kinds of arcades have a lot of games, a lot of pirated games, of course. But that's kind of the experience of playing fighting games or arcade games in general in Mexico. You will have a very hard time finding a real arcade in Mexico. In fact, when I was a teen, I saw that one of the places where I used to go eat, have lunch in school, had an arcade for Metal Slug 3, and they never had it open, but it was like a legit true arcade of Metal Slug 3, and that's one of the very few arcades for like the game that I've seen in Mexico. I've seen more, but that's one of the ones that really stuck with me because it's Metal Slug 3. It's like a super iconic game. I guess she has no DCSS wins. I'm pretty sure Sindragori is referring to the girl that I talked about before that was much better at the King of Fighters than I ever will be. Yeah, that's just literal years of arcade play. That's pretty much how people in Mexico have gotten good at the King of Fighters. They don't really laugh; they just play against each other, and it's kind of impressive that they get so good off of that alone. I dived a bit too deep. I was a bit distracted by the conversation. I went to D13, and D13, as you can see, is like a bit of a significant difficulty upgrade compared to D12. We're getting like Centaur Warrior bands and melee and things that are just definitely too much for the character as it is right now. We have to consider that the character is pre-lair, and even though it is obviously a strong character, it is still unsafe for me to be here. I would probably like to get out of here as soon as I can. Yeah, we can go do lair. Melee. I don't know how to pronounce that. Like, I read that and I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, let's see. How are you supposed to pronounce that? It's melee. If you get me the pronunciation, I'm gonna try it, but it's melee. There's no way it's not melee. I would be very surprised if it was something other than melee. It's nonsense. You have if. I think I kind of missed something there. I really don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so four-headed Hydra, but I have 14 armor class. I feel safe. Oh, I can hop again. I mean, if I have to, I can tank Hydra melee, but might as well just jump away if I'm given the option to do so. You have it. Your pronunciation is more correct than mine. Okay. How do you pronounce Ilsuiu? Ilsuiu. Almost like uwu, but not quite. Ilsuiu. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Your legs feel stronger, so I think that makes it so that I can jump further away, which is pretty good. Wow, look at my evasion. It's actually going up quite a bit. The perks of being able to train defensive options. On your way back to your computer, you don't really have to worry about it too much because I'm about to finish. Like, I could keep streaming a lot more, but I also would kind of nuke my sleep schedule any more than it's already nuked. And I would like to avoid that if possible. Yeah, much better hop now. Yeah, it's almost the whole screen. Oh, this was a mistake. Well, it's not that much of a mistake. It is bad, but it's not terribly bad because I have resistance to poison. If I had no resistance to poison, this would be really messed up. Okay. A hat of Sea Invisible. And a whip called Widowmaker, which I am not particularly interested in. Big milestone for a frog. Yeah, that's a boulder beetle, 2 lava snakes. It's not even a Randart ring. I feel really scammed. Yeah, we are not gonna open that. In fact, we might just exclude it. Oh, Gauntlet. Okay, before ending stream, I'm gonna do the Gauntlet, and hopefully I won't kill myself in it. Let's see what we got here. Vulnerability, Amnesia, and last but not least, Brand Weapon. Okay, we're gonna brand the hand crossbow. You know, it would be amazing if the Gauntlet had an Arbalest. It would also be amazing if I made it into the Gauntlet, because I don't have magic mapping. I might not be able to make it into the Gauntlet. It's very distant, so I'm gonna have to rely on kinda luck to find it, because very distant makes it really hard. Okay, we're gonna allow that. The message filter keeps stopping people from posting something that your message included, but I understand that you're not telling me to do that, so you can just do it. You can just type it. It's not a big deal. If you kill yourself in it, it means your runs won't be caught between streams. My runs pretty much never. Oh, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, if I die in there, like I can just start a new character next time I stream. Okay, I'm not gonna make it there because I've been out exploring and out resting. There's no way I make it. Yeah, Barachi is pretty good, especially Barachi Hunter. Like, I legit like Barachi Hunter a lot. I feel like people sleep on Barachi Hunter. Okay, time to do something funny. We can abuse the fact that we have a dispersal trap here to be able to jump away from the Hydra and like gain ground on it. And now I'm dying to rats out of all things. That is bad. That is really, really bad. Yeah, at least I am out of the line of sight of the dispersal trap now, but really unfortunate too. Barachi Hunter is the Nami special. I would say that the Nine Settler special would be probably Ogre Venom Mage. Like, I recommend that to literally everyone. It's even part of my Discord name. Like, just go play Ogre Venom Mage. It's good. It's good and it's easy. I'm gonna re-teleport here. Probably also gonna drink a couple of curings for 4 HP out of everything. Truly unfortunate. No character wants to drink curings for HP, but it's better than dying and going back to the character select screen. 10 tele. Yeah, I got a lot of tele this game. I hope that it saves me. You've done both Barachi Hunter and Ogre Venom Mage. What abilities would a sumo god give? This is one of the songs that I like the least from this soundtrack. Yeah, in fact, I like the entirety of the soundtrack except for that song. Um, what abilities would a sumo god give? Throw salt to deal damage to demons, because that's kind of like legit the real usage of salt in the sumo connotations. Evil spirits, I guess. So demons and undeath. And that would be one. That would probably be like it would be similar to Zin, but good. Um, with the one Pip of Piety ability, it would throw salt, and maybe you would be able to throw monsters like an Iron Giant does, but you would be able to do it. Um, Maybe it would get you rampaging, like innate rampaging, as a passive at some point, and with the ultimate you would be able to attack several times in a row. So there's kind of like overlap between that design that I just made up on the go with Wujian, of course, but I just thought up of it. I just improvised something. Okay, I'm very glad that Fear feared everything there because that was not a good situation. Okay, maybe get me a corridor, a distant drum. Maybe I can make it to the thing. I mean, I don't think I can really do it. As soon as you said Iron Giant, I got it this floor. Maybe like a knockdown active when you throw down an opponent. Yeah, could be. Like maybe knockdown could be like 1 or 2 turns of paralysis. Um, I was thinking when it comes to throws, and to use like things that are already in the game. Maybe just throw like an Iron Giant throw, or wow, I think I'm gonna die here. This looks bad. Um, uh, or like Mystic Blast, Force Lance, that kind of throw, but like knockdown would also be very flavorful. Um, yeah, this is not good. Not good at all. I could die here. I don't trust in my ability to tap down the Komodo Dragon um, with this amount of HP. Of course, Esther. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have luck with that. Good luck with your streaming. Um, yeah, I don't really see a way out of this. Like, okay, so I do see a way out of this, but it's like very resource intensive. Just like, um, wait for this guy to reach me and then blink to the stairs, go downstairs, or wait for this guy to reach me and blink here, but it's really unsafe because it reveals the traps, or it reveals the rats. Yeah, it also reveals the dispersal trap, I think. Probably not. It must be blocked by this wall. Um, I can also blink here and blink here, but like no place is good. I don't really have an ideal place to hold my ground, and only 13 armor class is not good. Why did I switch to wearing that? I don't think I should be using that leather armor. I mean, obviously the resistances are good, but it's a leather armor. I'm never gonna be um, putting them to use. Why am I not wearing Guardian Spirit too? That would be good. Okay. You know what I probably should do? Maybe teleport again. Maybe teleport again. Okay, now let's hope that the Komodo dragon doesn't decide to hit me for 30 damage 2 times in a row. Oh, the opposite happened. I actually hit the Komodo dragon for a lot of damage. Got teleported into another bad situation. So I guess we are gonna be digging deep into that stack of scrolls of teleport. Okay, this looks safe. I mean, um, I would like to get to the gauntlet. Like the gauntlets are by far um, the strongest or the most impactful portal bolt. Like the loot there is pretty crazy, and the best part about it is that you get to pick what you fight against. I don't. This is pretty bad. Won't be able to reach it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the gauntlet is somewhere in here. Wouldn't be surprised if it was in this part of the map that not only is it full of monsters, but yeah, after a thunderous strike, the drum beats cease. It is what it is. Sometimes you just don't reach the portal bolts, and it's for practical purposes, like it didn't generate. Kind of unfortunate that I wasn't able to reach it, but it is what it is. So, after I'm done training my dodging, I think I'm gonna get some invocations. Barachi doesn't get a lot of invocations, which is kind of an issue with the Shining one because I like Cleansing Flame, but um, but you don't really need to rely on Cleansing Flame when you have a Holy Arbalest to kill demons and stuff with it. Um, by the way, if it wasn't obvious, when I go the Shining one, I want to go 15 runes. So this is probably going to be a 15 rune character. Haven't done 15 rune Ranger in a while. And it's like my preferred way to do 15 runes. It is not incredibly boring, like Absolute Zero, and it is not hard or as hard as melee 15 runer. Do you have a plan for Minotaur fights? I don't think undertrained rapier. I wouldn't say that it's particularly undertrained. Like I have it almost at minimum delay. It's 12 short blades and minimum delay is 14. I think it would be able to carry me. Um, anyway, for Minotaur, what would I have done? What would I have done for the Minotaur actually? Maybe Curer? I have Curer. Could have done Curer Haste. Curer Haste might? No, Curer Berserk. Yeah, Curer Berserk should be able to kill the Minotaur. Yeah, even maybe even Net? Yeah, Curer Net Berserk. Curer Net Berserk. Yeah, I did train it quite a bit, and it was easy because Barachi have good aptitudes. Bless Barachi aptitudes, truly. Like you get difficulty in your game, but it's not difficulty from oh I cannot kill anything. It's difficulty because oh I cannot run away from things easily. Um, which is I prefer it a lot more. It is kind of similar to what I mentioned before, the Zin thing. That Zin allows you to just flee from everything, but it doesn't give you the tools to not get into that situation or those situations in the first place. Um, oh, that's extremely good. Okay, goodbye. Yeah, I'm not gonna use that anymore. Arbalest of Electrocution, might not be as good as a longbow of electrocution, still pretty good, because at the end of the day you're applying electrocution from afar, which means that you get like more chances to apply it before the monsters reach you. So finding a random arbalest of electrocution laying on the floor, pretty good. I'm very happy with it. Okay. I got severely poisoned, past poison resistance. Usual crawl things. Okay. Gamma had his short blades trained to aid in his Spriggan Enchanter of New Ash stream, somehow associated it to this game. I see. Yeah, I really like to train my weapons to minimum delay whenever I have the chance to do so. If I am experience starved, which more often than not is actually the case with my characters, I don't train them to minimum delay. I train them to either 1.0 delay or 12 skill, depending on the situation. Um, I of course later go to minimum delay on my melee weapon. Um, but yeah, it all depends on the character. Like, different characters get different things. Okay, probably should be using that. Earlier today, you were watching a documentary about Operation Bagration when the user stomped Nazi where the USSR stomped Nazi Germany in World War II and then immediately lost to a Russian in a chess match. That's very flavorful. That's very flavorful indeed. You have 12 and need 14. Yeah, like I feel like training your weapon to 0.6 delay is actually not that bad. Um, of course, getting minimum delay is good, but 0.6 is also pretty decent. It is faster than a usual than a usual weapon. Like most weapons are 0.7, and like it's a rapier. I guess it would be worth it to train it to 14, because I just get a huge damage increase from electrocution and the fact that it's already a plus 10 rapier. I might do that after I have invocations. I want invocations because of summon divine warrior. Like um, I want to have angels available, because angels at this point in the game murder absolutely everything that I would be able to encounter. Like nothing really stands a chance against an angel. So the earliest I get them, the better. Just in case I need that resource, might as well have it online. And after that, I would like to get my weapon at minimum delay. Maybe after that, get some evocations. Um, but probably go back to crossbows for minimum delay on the arbalest that I just got. Like I even dropped the hand crossbow because I'm just gonna be using this from now on. Um, this is a lot of this character has a lot of electricity, funnily enough. Um, Okie dokie. So, with that being said, and after missing this gauntlet that unfortunately, very, very unfortunately, spawned in like the opposite side of the level from where I went, like I don't know if I agree with this level generation. Like it was just a huge loop that made me waste a ton of time. If AutoExplore hadn't explored this huge pointless loop and had gone the opposite way, I might have been able to reach the gauntlet, but it was not the case. I guess we just got very, very unlucky with that. So yeah, we're gonna leave it here for today. It was a pretty fun start. We are pretty busted, I think. Like between the Arbalest of Electrocution, which you cannot really get one of those, um, and the Rapier of Electrocution, plus 10 Rapier is insane. I feel like we are doing quite well. Um, so yeah, I will be playing more of this tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yeah, I will be playing more of this tomorrow. However, tomorrow is Friday, which means that I start a bit later than usual. I'm gonna be auto hosting someone, and when that person ends, I'm gonna be starting within like 10 minutes or so. So I don't really have a set time to start on a Friday, but I do stream on Friday. Um, with that being said, if you're not already following, you might consider following. I would appreciate it if you do. And if you're already following, you might want to consider subscribing because subscribing is cool. I would appreciate it if you do. You don't have to do it, of course. I understand that like some people, or most people rather, have issues with that nowadays, including me. But yeah, if you can afford to do it, that would be cool. Um, by the way, Professor Wednesday, I hadn't noticed, but thank you for following. I appreciate it a lot. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna call it quits for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Before ending, let me go and put on some chainmail or plate. Plate would be better, actually. We wanna wear some plate. Um, Kind of nukes my evasion, but we're okay with that because we get big armor class, and now I'm not gonna be taking like 50 damage to any random Komodo dragon when I start the stream tomorrow. Um, so yeah, let's go downstairs, save the game, and we are obviously gonna be raiding Aster because Aster let me know that she was playing this, and no one else plays Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup at this time of the night, so um, I'm very grateful that someone decided to stream after I'm done. That is huge. Um,